Good evening, and welcome to the finals event of the Cozad New Venture Challenge. Thank you to all those that are joining us this evening, and most importantly, congratulations to the 6 teams that are finalists this year. This year, we are in the 21st edition of the Cozad New Venture Competition. The competition was launched in the year 2000 through a gift from Peter and Kim Fox to honor V. Dale Cozad. Dale Cozad was one of Peter's close friends and mentors, and it was set up to honor his memory, hard work, dedication, and his entrepreneurial spirit. Over $2 million has been awarded to teams over the years. And this year, over 70 teams entered the competition, and tonight we are down to the final 6 teams. And tonight, in addition to seeing those teams, we'll have an opportunity to hear from Dan Caruso, a well-known alum from the Granger College of Engineering. Dan was the founder and CEO of the Zayo Group. He founded this company and led it through a successful IPO and acquisition. And more recently, he's the CEO of Cold Quanta, a new startup in the cold atom quantum technology space that has recently raised over $30 million. This evening, John Thode, one of our clinical professors of innovation and entrepreneurship, will be having a conversation with Dan. And Dan will share some of his thoughts around some of his entrepreneurial experiences, and he'll also share some of his thoughts with students that participated in the Cozad competition around entrepreneurship and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. So we're really excited to have Dan here and for him taking his time. Then, most importantly, what all of you have tuned in for this evening, we'll be hearing from our 6 finalist teams. We will see brief pitches from these 6 finalists. Finally, after that, we'll award our grand prizes, over $200,000 in funding and prizes to help launch some ventures. So we're excited for that. But before we get started, I'd like to just say a few words. The University of Illinois has a long and storied history of innovation and technology translation. It goes all the way back to the transistor and LED light bulb. But even more than that, we are known for producing world-class entrepreneurs and innovators. From the founders of companies such as YouTube, PayPal, Siebel Systems, Malwarebytes, more recently companies like Lightform, Eightfold.ai, C3, Grail, Trala, Cast21, the list goes on and on. Crunchbase recently named the University of Illinois as one of the top 5 public universities for graduating startup founders. I have no doubt that students that are competing in this competition this year will end up being on that list in the future. Now, a word to our mentors, judges, and coaches. While the last 12 months has been challenging during this pandemic, it has also provided us opportunities to engage with our alumni and friends in ways that have not been possible in the past. We plan on continuing these engagements into the future as we transition into a new normal in the next year. And for this final round, we have a panel of distinguished judges from around the country, a panel of investors, entrepreneurs, and innovators. And we would like to thank these judges for their expertise and all of the time they've put into it. So, thank you. In addition to the judges that we've had for this final round, we'd also like to thank all of the judges, mentors, and coaches that have helped us throughout this competition. And there have been many of you that have given of your time. You can see from this list behind me. So again, a heartfelt thanks to all of you. Finally, thanks to all of our sponsors. We'll be awarding over $200,000 in funding and prizes to teams this year, and this would not be possible without your help. So thank you for supporting our teams. So with that, we'll now have our conversation with John Thode and Dan Caruso. John, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you for your time.
Well, thanks, Jed, and hello. My name is John Thode. I'm a clinical professor of entrepreneurship in the Technology Entrepreneurship Center in the Granger College of Engineering. I'm also the academic lead for the Cozad New Venture Challenge. I have the distinct honor of being here with a fellow engineering alumnus, Dan Caruso, class of 1986. Dan is here today to help us kick off the 2021 Cozad New Venture Challenge Final Awards event and to offer some advice to aspiring entrepreneurs. Well, it's probably unnecessary. Let me provide a brief bio on Dan. Dan's full biography is available on the Cozad New Venture website. Dan Caruso is the current executive chairman and interim CEO of Cold Quanta, the leader in cold atom quantum technology. Dan was previously founding partner and chairman of Zayo Group Holdings. a global provider of communications infrastructure. As founder of the business in 2007, he led the company from startup to IPO to a company with a multi-billion-dollar equity value. Zayo was Dan's third fiber startup, all of which became decacons, eclipsed valuations of 10 billion apiece. Dan's an avid supporter of Colorado and Chicago's entrepreneurial community and is particularly interested in the intersection of for-profit investing, inclusion, and entrepreneurship. Dan is a long-term supporter of the University of Chicago's New Venture Challenge programs, including the College New Venture Challenge and the partnership with the University of Illinois through the Startup City Scholars Program. Dan, thanks for joining us and welcome.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, so let me kick it off, Dan. I'd like to start off with your support of the partnership between the University of Chicago and Illinois around CNVC and the Startup City Scholars. There are several past winners of the Cozad New Venture Challenge competition that have gone on to integrate Chicago teammates and become successful finalists in the CNVC program. Teams like Tennies, Hex Nest, and Deep Walk. Dan, I believe you were involved with the early discussions around the program and have been a significant supporter since. Tell us about how you helped conceive of the program and your vision for what it can become in the future.
Sure. The first thing I would stress is that the most important thing with new venture programs and accelerators is to produce businesses that are viable. That's what really gives it the energy, the passion, attracts teams in following years. And so the collaboration between University of Illinois and University of Chicago brings that to life. It brings University of Illinois up to Chicago and closer to a bigger business ecosystem. And it brings talent from the two schools together to collaborate. Given that I'm an alumni of both, it's particularly interesting to me to see that collaboration take on life. But it's really about how do we create kind of a business ecosystem that it extends from Chicago down to Champaign-Urbana and brings kind of the talent together to collaborate toward creating real ventures with a diverse group of talent.
That's awesome. Now, if we only had a high-speed train to go between the two, we'd be better off. So, Dan, I've heard you talk about obstacles you faced enrolling in the College of Engineering at Illinois. I thought it was an interesting story. Could you tell us a story and what life's lessons you learned from that?
Yeah, when I graduated from high school, I was home at Flossmoor, just south of the city of Chicago. The only place I applied was University of Illinois Engineering School. That was not very good thinking because it turned out I wanted to go there, but I didn't have the qualifications to get in. So they didn't accept me. So I had to think about a plan B and I had to scramble. I decided to go to University of Illinois anyways and go to the liberal arts program with the intent of going in engineering. And I was discouraged from doing that. They said, you'll probably never get in and you'll waste a couple of years trying to do so. And they told me I would need to get, I think it was a 4.6 out of 5 to get in there. And then to make things a little bit harder on myself, I got a C in Spanish my first semester. It's hard to get a 4.6 when you got a C in Spanish. Fortunately, I got an A in everything else, and it was everything else that mattered: physics, chemistry, math. And within 2 years, I did get accepted. But it taught me many things. One, to be more humble. Two, if you want something, sometimes you have to fight for it. Just because someone says no doesn't mean you don't go for it. And three, I took a lot of risks because if I didn't get in, I would have been kind of stuck in the middle and not really sure what to do next. So it probably is one of those life lessons that stayed with me throughout life, gave me more grit, gave me more perseverance, and maybe made me think a little bit more about having options.
That's awesome. So, as a follow-up to that, so the Cozad New Venture Challenge is 21 years old this year. But so it wasn't around when either you or I were in Champaign. So tell us about what was your entrepreneurial experiences on campus and what did you learn from them?
Yeah, I think my entrepreneurial experiences on campus and even leading up to my going into University of Illinois was I seemed to always be working and having different types of jobs. And even at a young age, some of them were, in hindsight, we didn't use the word entrepreneurial, but I'd do my own thing. I would paint houses or mow grass, but I would try to set them up as businesses. So even while I was in University of Illinois, it seemed like I was always doing kind of business stuff, even not sure why, but it just seemed to be what I was doing. But I think my big kind of breakthrough when it came to entrepreneurship was I kind of got lucky in that in Chicago, uh, what I did when I left the university is I joined up with Illinois Bell, which at that point had broken apart from AT&T and was now part of what was called Ameritech. And I joined them because of some pretty significant trends. One that had to do with technology, and that was fiber optics was going to become a big factor. Another had to do with the market trend, which was that data was going to overtake voice. And a third one had to do with the regulatory trend. The Bell system was breaking up and they were going to introduce competition. So I went into an area where there were a lot of different factors at play. I think that's part of what led to me kind of getting the entrepreneurial bug.
Yeah, that's fantastic. By the way, you were Ameritech was my customer. I was working on the original cell phones in the late 70s, and the brick phone was one of my babies. So we probably have more points of connection than we might realize here. So, hey, one of the things that you mentioned your commencement speech at the university in 2019 is you spoke about these things of pearls of wisdoms for graduates. And one of the things that was particularly interesting to me that I thought you might comment on is this notion of having the wind at your back when you get started. Can you expand on that just a little bit and how it might apply to aspiring young entrepreneurs today?
Yeah, the exciting part about being a young entrepreneur today is there's multiple places where you could pick where they're going to be trends that probably even outlast your careers that you could get in on the front end. And there's lots of examples of them. Two that I'll focus on is one is blockchain. Blockchain is going to think about cryptocurrency, but blockchain is going to be much more prevalent than that. It's going to affect and impact all kinds of industries. But the other one is the area that I'm spending a whole bunch of time in right now, and that's quantum. And I liken quantum now to to the internet when I was getting going in my career. In the early 90s, no one heard about the internet, unless you were in a university or coming out of the government, or you're at the very cutting edge of tech. You didn't even hear the word internet. It was only sometime in the early 90s that the word internet started to make it out there, to the general population. And the question was, well, what's the internet? What's it going to do? And people were like, well, you get to send these things called emails around and go into chat rooms. But then people are like, well, what's the big deal about that? And then, someone who really understood the internet would say, you don't understand, the internet's going to change everything. The whole world's going to change. You'd be like, well, how? And even that person would have trouble articulating. They wouldn't describe Uber, or they wouldn't describe Clubhouse. They would barely be able to articulate why or how. Well, quantum is like that for you guys today. Quantum is one where it's just moving from looking backwards in time, a world where very people heard of it and understood anything about it, to now it's starting to become much more prevalent, at least in investor circles and kind of startup circles. And I think that's going to grow dramatically in the next 2, 3, 4 years. And then it's going to be one of those trends, technologies, revolutions that affect all businesses and all aspects of society. Not overnight, but over the course of your career. So I think if you pick the right area to practice your trade, it's just a lot easier because there's going to be a lot more opportunities for everyone who has that type of expertise.
Yeah, so it's easier rolling downhill than uphill. I completely understand that. So just kind of pivoting off of that just a little bit. So you've had a crystal ball and you're pretty good. Obviously, you've done pretty well in your career at reading the crystal ball. So COVID in the last 12 months have created incredible economic disruptions beyond kind of quantum computing. What else do you see out there that students should keep an eye on here?
Well, it's amazing how things have changed in such a short period of time. The acceleration of not just technology trends, but business models and lifestyles in 1 year, it is like nothing we could have predicted. We couldn't even have predicted it in March or April when COVID hit. Now, certainly on the medical side, it's told us that the good news about COVID is it happened now, not 10 years ago, because we're more prepared for it. That's why vaccinations have happened so quick. But it's also told us that the opportunity to invest more in the medical side in order to create gigantic advances with genome sequencing and just all types of different ways of creating new drugs, new techniques. But then other areas too, the way we interact. I mean, the way we interact with Zoom is an obvious one, but it won't be long before we remember back and say, can you remember when we go on those Zooms and how boring that was, how two-dimensional it was? something's going to kind of come up and replace that in a much more significant way that's going to build off of it. And then think of deliveries of goods to your houses. We talk a lot about autonomous vehicles, and usually we think of that in terms of cars, but what about all these goods that are being carried to your houses and inside of this, I call them distribution centers. They used to be called stores a year ago. Now they're distribution centers, and people are in there and they're packing your groceries. And what's robotics going to do to that? And what kind of sensing equipment are you going to need to make that more efficient? So how do you bring goods into those warehouses? How do you match them up to who wants a specific, bag of groceries or collection of merchandise? And then how do you get that to that person at their house or otherwise? What's when will drones play a big role in that? I mean, all this stuff's going to happen in a more accelerated pace because of COVID.
Yeah. It's interesting. Sometimes I wonder if it wouldn't be great to start my career all over again. There's a lot of exciting stuff out there. So just a couple more questions and we'll wrap up. So I have to ask you about this story, quote, about your most impactful day at Illinois and how wave particle duality theory had something to do with it. You have to describe that story again. It blew me away when I heard it the first time.
Yeah, and this is a true story. And obviously it's a few decades ago, so the details are a little bit hazy, but how crystal the effect was on me is like it happened yesterday. And it was some relatively recent former student who was talking, and I remembered in the context of graduation. Maybe it wasn't the graduation itself, but he told a story about how his most exciting experience at University of Illinois was the realization that if he ran full speed into a brick wall enough times, that he would pop up on the other side of it. So that's his quest, to see how many times he needs to run full speed into a brick wall. And that was kind of the beginning of my excitement and passion around quantum. And I've read up on it for more than 20 years and felt myself to be very up to speed on quantum physics, really, quantum theoretical physics. And I always said, I hope I'm going to be around when this quantum stuff starts to go into the real world. So now I'm so excited that, I sort of tried to retire a couple months ago, and here I find myself being a CEO again. And it's all about trying to take quantum from R&D to the beginning of commercial or into commercialization. And fortunately, Chicago and Illinois is a big hotspot for that, but so is Colorado. And there's a company in Colorado here that's very advanced in its early stages of quantum, and we have an opportunity to take it forward. So if anyone's listening who has quantum aspirations or quantum expertise, please reach out, because we're going to be staffing up.
Well, let me ask you, I don't know if I qualify, but one of the passions that I had was teaching. So for 3 years, I went to Chicago public high schools and taught physics because I had a passion around physics, even though it never really came into play in my career. But I'll brush up and let you know. How will that be?
Right.
All right, great.
Good. Sounds good.
So let me just a final question here. So I watched the Distinguished Alumni Award ceremony a few days ago. And by the way, congratulations. What well deserved. And I couldn't happen to a nicer and more well deserving person. But I wanted to ask you specifically about your comments that you responded to this question when it was, quote, your one piece of advice for students. You responded with some advice about knowing who you are and respect for others. Can you just expand upon that a bit? I thought it was a very unique and novel answer.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously in a very stressful time in the world, COVID being a big part of it, but a lot of political angst, a lot of angst between countries. And individuals feel that, and particularly younger individuals, as they're trying to navigate kind of their lives when they're both coming out of college, going into their professional life. And it's so easy in the social media world to put pressure on yourself and feel like you have to live up to certain standards. And I think the biggest advice I would give people is just, be comfortable with whoever you are, and you want to strive, you want to pursue your passions, but you live for yourself and do what you're comfortable with, what don't feel like you have to measure up to other people's expectations, and know that this is a long journey, especially for you guys. I mean, you're gonna have opportunities when you're in your 60s and 70s that are probably still going to be in the middle of your career, maybe the back end part of middle, but you're still going to have a lot of life in front of you. So, if you get off to a slower start, or if you take some left turns when you should take in right turns, don't beat yourself up over it. Just, stick with it and learn from kind of your journey, and enjoy as best you can the journey itself. Don't worry about the destination.
All right. Well, great advice, Dan.
Mhm.
And I think our time is up. But once again, on behalf of students, staff, and the administration, I sincerely would want to thank you for all you do for the university and the Granger College of Engineering. So thank you again, Dan, for taking the time to be with us.
Great. Thank you. I'm honored to do this.
All righty. Now let's hear from our 6 finalist teams. And don't forget, at the end, you will have the opportunity to vote for your favorite team. So pay close attention and get your fingers ready to vote. Thank you all for joining us.
Hi everyone, my name is Hilary Pham and I'm the founder of Equability. I'd like to start by introducing Clouton Nunes, a Brazilian Paralympian. When he was 29, he got into a motorcycle accident and needed to have both his legs amputated. After recovering and getting his new body configurations, dressing and buying clothes became a lot more challenging. He tried buying adaptive clothes, but the selection was limited, the clothes were ugly, and made him feel like he was still wearing hospital apparel. Instead, he now usually wears athletic clothes, since they are easier to wear, but sometimes make him stand out. And Clouton isn't alone. From our survey of about 45 people, 90% said they didn't buy clothes because it'd be too difficult to wear, and at least half asked someone for help while dressing every day. We also found 2 studies from the University of Missouri linking a lack of clothes to social and professional barriers. In one study, a participant said he couldn't attend his brother's wedding because of a lack of clothes. This issue isn't new at all. Adaptive clothing just means clothes modified in some way for people with additional needs. In the US, about 20% of Americans have a mental or physical impairment, and 19.9 million Americans have dexterity or mobility issues specifically. Dexterity challenges cover a range of health issues, from arthritis, Parkinson's disease, and any other issues that affect a person's wrist or fine motor skills. Within this group, elderly populations and people suffering from occupational injuries would also be part of our target market. In 2020, the global adaptive clothing market was worth $290 billion, and the US makes up about $45 billion of that. After learning about this problem and the people affected by it, Equability began because we want to build an inclusive world where everyone can wear what they want. We'll do so by offering a convenient service where people can adapt clothes to fit their needs. Equability is a clothing modification service that focuses on the challenging functional features of clothes, such as buttons or zippers. We do not change the design or size of the clothes at all, and we modify using technology like Velcro, magnets, and snap buttons. Here are images of our prototypes. The goal is for the clothes to look exactly the same as something you could buy from a retail store, but it would be adapted to help the individual. Equability has 2 revenue streams. On the B2C side, we would charge $20 and $15 for shipping. Customers would directly ship their clothes to us, we would modify them and send them back. On the B2B side, we would charge the company a fixed price of $20 and the cost of shipping to our facility. Customers would buy their clothes from the retailer, the company would send it to us, and we would ship the item back for in-store pickup or to the customer directly. To order modifications, customers will go on our website and choose from a drop-down menu of materials, then decide which feature to change. Since our service is standardized, it requires far less training than tailoring and make the modifications scalable. From our estimates, the total cost of materials and labor for each of the modifications range from $11 to $18. We would reach our break-even point at 428 units, and are projected to reach that after 6 months of operation. As part of our go-to-market strategy, we would work with occupational therapy associations, physical therapy groups, and sponsor Paralympic athletes to raise awareness of our service on social media. In terms of the competitive environment, there are low-end clothing retailers that don't offer adaptive options, but have a wide variety of clothes. There are high-end retailers with some who do offer adaptive clothing lines, like Tommy Hilfiger, but they're still very expensive. And in terms of existing solutions, there are companies that sell adaptive clothes, but they mainly focus on function, not fashion, and are still expensive. The main issue left out of all these solutions is social integration. People with additional needs have to shop in limited sections and are still being treated as other. Equability offers variety, accessible options, and creates a seamless buying experience, so people don't have to be burdened or excluded because of their abilities. Our service would help our retail partners as well. There's an untapped market worth $290 billion that most clothing retailers are missing out on. For companies like H&M or Zara, investing the R&D funds to create an adaptive clothing line is expensive and disruptive to their operations. Our service would allow them to tap into the adaptive industry without impacting their usual functions and validate the market. Equability is a less expensive investment for companies who want to enter the adaptive market but are unsure how to. Currently, I'm the CEO and founder of Equability with experience in the banking industry, public sector, and nonprofit organizations. At this moment, I'm looking for partners with fashion, finance, or management experience, any advice and mentorship, and $20,000 for the first year of operation. My next steps are trademarking Equability and hiring 2 employees to launch the service in August. I'd like to end with our mission statement. Change clothes so people don't have to. We want to modify clothes so no one has to change their lifestyle or clothing style because of their disability. Thank you.
Hi, we are Reverie AI, and we create virtual dressing room experience for fashion retailers. So online shopping has taken a huge rise due to the pandemic. And one of the biggest things missing in online shopping today is an interactive and engaging experience where you can browse and try on different clothes. This has led to online shopping becoming less engaging, and whereas previous brick and mortar shopping has led to 22.5% conversion rates, current e-commerce shopping is at a measly 2.9. The solution really is virtual try-on technology, because this can bridge the gap by allowing users to mix and match any outfit they see and see how it looks on themselves or on another model instantly. It is the future, but current technology is extremely slow and expensive. We have about 5 minutes left in our talk, and while our competitors can't even process a single garment in that time, we can process an entire client's catalog. And that's exactly what we did. So at Reverie AI, we are the only high-quality virtual changing room for fashion e-commerce platforms at scale. And we integrated our client in less than 2 days, and the demo at reverie.ai/demo is an English version of our product directly on our website. So here on the product, you can mix and match any products, garments from our client's website and see it instantly on the left. And as part of an inclusive shopping experience, we also provide the technology to change different skin tones. So Reverie's integration process, again, only takes a few days. One, we just require 1 ghost mannequin image per product for our catalog. Ghost mannequin images are a standard in industry, which means most e-commerce platforms already have the images we need. And those that don't can easily find the service in the industry. Once we have 1 ghost mannequin image of each product, we process the entire catalog in just a few hours, and within a few days, our client will be live with our product. So comparing this again to our competitors, traditional ways of enabling virtual try-on is extremely expensive and extremely slow. These range from 3D modeling techniques to digital photo shoots that are specific to virtual try-on or image photoshopping and layering. There have been recent attempts to do automated approaches. However, these often produce very poor quality results. Our solution adopts the latest AI developed by a world-class team and is the reason why we are the only solution that is scalable currently on the market. So our team is a team of Gaten, myself, and Minjin, and we are all third-year PhD candidates at the University of Illinois under David Forsyth. So David is not only an advisor to the company, but an advisor to us as research students. And David is also one of the most impactful professors in AI in the entire industry. So our product is AI technology developed by our team. This means we're not only innovating in this space, but we have brought this innovation directly onto the market. This is real technology that is accepted into peer-reviewed CS conferences. So we are really pushing the state of the art. So for customer validation, we work with Symbol. Symbol is the largest luxury e-commerce platform in Ukraine with about 100K monthly users. So in a 2-month pilot that we conducted with Symbol, we saw that users that used Reverie ended up visiting 6 times more pages, ended up having 6 times longer session lengths, and having a 6.8 times higher conversion rate. This ultimately led to a revenue increase of 5.2%. Needless to say, Symbol has been very happy with our product so far. For total addressable market, fashion e-commerce is gigantic. So currently, fashion e-commerce is a $700 billion industry, and with 10% growth every single year, this will come out to be about a $900 billion industry by 2023. So even capturing just a fraction of this market puts us at $1 billion company. Step 1, by 2022, we hope to work with about 10 mid-sized fashion e-commerce platforms under a commission-based SaaS pricing model. By 2023, we hope to double, quadruple, or even more, bring in more clients. And the reason why we're able to do that is because we can scale to our demand. As long as clients want to work with us, we can provide the technology because of how scalable our technology is. And by 2024, not only are we going to continue the commission-based model, license our product, but we want to capture a larger percentage of this market by becoming a standalone e-commerce platform that is powered by virtual try-on technology. So our company timeline is as follows. In October, we started the company. In November, we started our 2B SaaS effort. And in December, we reached out to 15 target clients. In January, we filed a provisional application, and in February, we already landed on our first client's website. This means in 2 months of reaching out, we already went live. In March, we got published in a top AI conference for the technology, and in April, we expect to get our first paycheck. So for our future plans, we hope to get 3 paying clients soon and also support Body Shape. And we expect this to all be done by June 2021, and the funds and connections from Cozad can greatly help. So in these 6 minutes, we would have processed all 20,000 garments of a client, and no one has the technology to match that. So again, we encourage you to go to reverie.ai to check out our demo, and we thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Artyom. Let me introduce Wix.com, voice user interfaces for all. Do you know what is similar between a blind lady, mountaineer, and my grandma? They all need voice user interfaces on the websites and mobile applications because they cannot access them. In the time of accessibility regulations and COVID-19, we develop platform as a service that provides voice user interface for your startup, website, mobile application. Wix is like a Siri for your website. What would you do if you knew that over 1 billion people could not access your website? It's 15% of the world population who have some form of disability. That's why there is web accessibility laws and policies. These people will benefit from Wix solution. Our business customers using our self-service account integrate Wix component to their software, allowing their visionless and handless users to make voice requests that transform to API requests to Wix and get processed by our artificial intelligence. We have an MVP, and let me show you how it works. Hi.
Hello, I'm a VUI, voice user interface.
Sign me in.
Sounds good.
This is our self-service account where users could test their voice interfaces. They can build a new one. There is documentation and analytics available. Let's see how Wix would work on the website of our customers. This is an example. Order me coffee, please.
What type of coffee would you like?
Americano.
What size of coffee would you like?
Large.
Plain, sugar, brown sugar, honey or stevia sweetener?
Honey, please.
Should I order your large size honey Americano coffee?
Yes, please.
Great. I ordered you a large size honey Americano coffee.
Thank you for ordering. Currently, HTML and voice-over accessibility are not user-friendly. Building good voice user interface is hard, slow, and expensive. It requires knowledge of more than 10 technologies, years to implement, tens to hundreds of thousands US$. But Wix Pass is simple, quick, and affordable. Only one technologies, days to implement, and hundreds US$. Serviceable, obtainable market is somewhere between 5 and 100 million. Total available market is evaluated to grow by 27.2 billion by 2025 year. Here you can see the typical job description to implement a voice user interface. This is from our potential customer who needs voice interface in the software for construction workers. Our product plan includes registering a virtual company, hiring a team, running marketing and sales, and more. Go-to-market strategy consists of building awareness, outbound as well as inbound marketing, and sales through different channels such as digital marketplace. Here we have a list of milestones. Our Wix team consists of 6 people: Artyom, Alexei, Jesse, Ragnil. We are 3 MBA students, 2 software engineers, 2 project managers. Marisa is a mentor from Geese College of Business. Thomas Parkinson is a senior director of Illinois Ventures and adjunct lecturer of entrepreneurship. Our business model includes partnering with blind associations and accessibility regulators. We have a virtual company proposing cost and time reduction on implementing accessibilities of self-service through multi-sided platform, and revenue streams come from different subscription fees. Initially, we are freemium. Siri, Alexa, OK Google, they all need special hardware or software, but Wix will work on any website and any mobile application, IoT, etc., and on any of your customer devices. Also, it have a very simple architecture. Dasha AI is a PaaS with 20 beta testers. They hired 50 people and raised 2 million, but they have a complicated architecture. We have a financial projections for 5 years. We will reach a break even on the 2nd year of operations. So we are looking to raise from 50,000 to 3.2 million to onboard customers, improve product market fit, and grow company. Do you have any questions?
Hi everyone, my name is Arvind Radhakrishnan. I'm the CEO of this venture and I am a student. And joining me is Veera, who leads recruitment strategy at Tata, Anthony from Facebook, Ellen from Google, Dipankar from Times Group. We are a team who have deep technical and engineering backgrounds in cloud and AI, developing and launching products for enterprises. We also have a deep understanding of the issues around HR recruitment process. I believe all of us could relate to the common problem around our struggle to identify the right engineering talent quickly. So I have seen this issue myself, and so did the rest of my advisors and my team. So we started analyzing the problem more quickly, and we found that this is an industry-wide problem. Enterprise, startups, big techs, everybody faces the same issue. Now, when it comes to from a problem identification perspective, we perform customer discovery with various recruiters, and we found that 45% of the recruiters essentially goes in identifying resumes, which involves searching through skills or keywords on portals, including Monster, LinkedIn, and other application tracking systems like Greenboard and Java. But these systems often eliminate resumes where the keywords don't match the role description. The skill-based search results often presents candidates who did not use the skills in the last 2 to 3 years. Now, as hiring managers, how do we find the right talent given these constraints? Now, why now? The problem we think is going to significantly grow, and as confirmed by US Bureau of Labor, software engineering roles will grow at 22%, which is the fastest of all professions. And our current systems and processes cannot handle this. So what are we doing? How are we solving this problem? We are building an AI-based product, which is essentially using machine learning and which is mirroring a human behavior of reviewing business, which is our key competitive differentiation. As proven by our early pilots, and we'll talk about that later, the product will reduce recruiters' efforts, as you can see, from 45% to 20% of the entire time to identify the suitable roles, suitable resumes for the roles. And the key benefits for the target customers will include the improved revenue per recruiter, improving time to staff KPI, and improved candidate onboarding per interview. Let's move on to the next one, which is what we want to talk about on a product market fit. So we have conducted 4 early pilot results, and we have analyzed more than 15,000 resumes, 2,000 job descriptions, and we have identified the recruiter efficiency has been improved by 80 to 85%. We're taking a very conservative approach of 80% here, and we have few video testimonials as well. Now, every pilot that you had, it has helped us to improve our model, and we have been able to deliver results in identifying suitable cloud, NLP, computer vision, full stack automation engineers that best fit the role descriptions. Now, from a target customer segments, our key customer segments are workforce solution firms who specialize in permanent or temporary recruitment, and in-house recruitment divisions in startups, big techs, enterprise consulting firms, and others. So what we have observed, and we have a list of 2,600 recruitment firms in US alone. And as you may know, some of the fastest growing firms in US are aggressively hiring software engineers. With a sum of $10 billion growing at 22%, we feel this is a sizable market to go after. What are we now? Let's look into what are we actually building, right? So there's a huge detailed product plan, but there are 3 major features that we are talking about here. We are looking at building an integrated view of the candidate skills that by analyzing and including their open source projects, and a reverse lookup project. So for example, you have a candidate resume, and you can identify what's the best fit role for the particular candidate. From a competitive differentiation perspective, we have analyzed few competing products, but we think that there's a very partial capability for that. And we focus on search and recommendations, which is part of their functionality. So there's a huge possibility to turn this competition into competition and eventually a partner. Let's look into from a go-to-market perspective now. So what we're looking at is our early adopters are workforce solution firms. We do have an existing working relationship with all of them. I want to call this out, right? So, and we have been engaging and working with them for last 6 months to understand their interests and incentives to buy a product. We are carefully designed this product keeping in mind the outcomes of customers API, which is essentially revenue per recruiter, time to staff, and number of candidates that are getting on board, while ensuring there are limited product and behavioral changes required in the end customer so that the product adoption becomes easier. These are the firms who help with permanent and temporary software engineering hiring firms for Bank of America's, Walmart's, Apple, Microsoft, EY, Tata, Accenture, and so on. Our strategy is to go conduct a live proof of concept of a freemium model for up to 2 weeks and converting them to a customer without a significant paperwork. And we intend to keep the price low to the point where the individual business units or the sub-BUs can absorb the cost without requiring additional approvals, while we focus on building a positive cash flow. Eventually use these references to incrementally deliver the same capabilities to other account managers in the same firms. This will give us a scale, and we'll talk about that, and while we continue to engineer the solution to bring down the cost. From a financial perspective, we are looking at growing from processing around 218,000 roles by end of 2021 to 1.4 million roles by end of 2023, which will allow us our revenue to grow from 822K to 5.8 million revenue by 2023. We have accounted for a customer acquisition cost, as well as the contribution margin and the payback for the customer acquisition cost as well. We are looking for guidance on raising, how to raise funding, product pricing, and obviously some support from legal and IP perspective. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your time.
Hi, I'm Alex Koskov, and I'm the founder and CEO of Natreon. What we're doing is developing a new plug-and-play battery component for manufacturers like Tesla that will make their product safer and more efficient for renewable energy applications. So you're likely aware of the rolling blackouts that took place in Texas last month, and a key contributing factor was the fact that the state didn't have enough battery energy storage backing up some of their new wind power resources. So when electricity demand skyrocketed, the grid quite simply couldn't keep up. So why didn't Texas have enough batteries? Well, current lithium-ion batteries have an inherent fire safety flaw that makes them extremely dangerous in this application. In the last 2 years, there have been over 25 grid-scale fires or explosions, and it all has to do with these batteries relying on a core liquid electrolyte component, a literal liquid that can boil and explode from puncture damage, overuse, or temperatures of just 140 degrees. And so what manufacturers have been doing is just babysitting battery cells by implementing external liquid cooling and electronics and all these other things. But all this does is reduce efficiency, inflate costs, and it doesn't solve the root of the problem. Well, that's exactly what we set out to do with our new product, LISIC. LISIC is actually an abbreviation for lithium solid ionic conductor. That's exactly what it is, a completely solid state material to replace liquids on existing battery assembly lines with minimal modifications. This is a proprietary technology with 1 patent already issued and 3 additional provisionals filed. And the solid state component is actually stable to temperatures in excess of 600 degrees to completely eliminate fire risk in batteries while actually also improving battery life. So we're not the only ones trying to develop solid state batteries, but we are different in the sense that everyone else is taking a binary approach to the problem. QuantumScape and Samsung are coming up with pure ceramic materials that have excellent performance. They're really brittle. They'll quite literally crack inside of battery cells to kill lifespan, and they're also very difficult to make thin enough for efficient cell designs. Then there are companies going with pure polymer solutions, and polymers are flexible and durable and affordable and great, but they just don't have sufficient performance. So we're the first ones to start blending both types of materials to form composites that make use of their very best properties and none their worst. What you see on the right side is a picture taken with an electron microscope, and circled you'll see actual ceramic microparticles in a surrounding polymer matrix. So it's a true hybrid composite material. As far as our traction, we've received a Defense Department SBIR grant to develop this technology, and so through May, we'll be finalizing our LISIC chemistry. Then between May and December, we'll be going into direct pilots with 2 battery companies, Imperium 3, which operates one of the world's largest battery factories in New York, and then AMTE, a UK company that's also an up-and-coming large battery manufacturer. So we'll be piloting directly in their commercial cells to validate our technology. And then between December and August of 2022, we'll actually build complete battery packs in collaboration with AMT and MEP Technologies, while Tesla has said that it wants to be next on deck for a cell level pilot. So some tremendous traction there. As far as how we're going to monetize through contract B2B sales, we anticipate being able to sell for 12 to 14 cents per square foot of LISIC and make a 30 to 50% margin. And this price point is highly competitive with the existing liquid electrolytes. So assuming we can average $30 million per year per gigawatt hour of manufacturing capacity that we service, and a 250 gigawatt hour market in 2025, that's a serviceable obtainable market of $7.5 billion we can pursue. As far as our go-to-market, I mentioned that we're building battery packs with AMT and MEPTech. So we'll deliver actually a dozen 30 kilowatt hour modules for Florida Solar Installer Adaptive Carbon Systems. Then Dynamic has actually asked for has actually issued an RFP for a solid state 100 kilowatt hour unit for their new hybrid electric yacht. And then finally, the Army Civil Engineer Research Lab in Champaign wants to do a phase 2 pickup of our Air Force SBIR grant to actually pilot our battery at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. So some tremendous traction there as well. As far as our team, we've got a really great, ambitious and young management and R&D team paired with seasoned mentors. So I started this company with my partner, Tom, who's out at Indiana Kelly. We started back in 2018. We're currently in the process of adding a new senior engineer to our management team. So going through that hiring process as well. Our whole R&D team does everything from materials analysis at the Frederick Site's Materials Research Lab to our actual defense research and MOU sourcing. They're all Illinois. And then our actual mentors, we've got John Tuck with an equity stake in the company. He's a PhD from Oxford in electrochemistry, now at AMT Power as Director of Intellectual Property. So tremendous on the commercialization side and a great liaison with AMT. Ben Jen, another equity holding investor advisor, serial entrepreneurs from the telecom space, great biz dev experience there. And then we work directly with Hal Liu at Binghamton University, himself a Cambridge PhD. He does all of our cell construction and testing. And Mick Vitadello at City University of New York with 20 years of battery materials experience. So really phenomenal mentorship. As far as our asks, any prize money from Cozad will put towards a collaborative research and development agreement with the Civil Engineer Research Lab on pilots. Then we're also looking to obtain enterprise workspace to continue building out our R&D team. And then finally, any manufacturing advisory that we can get as we build out a pilot plant to validate our processes would be extremely helpful, as that's a hole on our team that we're looking to fill. Thanks so much for listening, and thanks so much, Cozad, for this amazing opportunity.
Hi everyone, my name is Manu Modi and I'm currently a sophomore at the University of Illinois pursuing my computer engineering degree. I co-founded Grekia with my childhood best friends from USC and UC Berkeley, whom I've known for about 13 years. We have an advisory board with 5 notable members, including UC Berkeley CTO Bill Allison and the Associate Vice President of Strategic Innovation at UIF, Kathleen Bloom, who are guiding us in our journey. Over the summer, we spoke to over 150 students that were experiencing some form of food or housing insecurity. Amir was one of them. Amir is a first-generation low-income student whose parents immigrated from Jordan. His dad is a taxi driver and his living conditions at home aren't ideal, as he has to sleep on a broken couch and hungry on most nights. But despite this, Amir has persevered. Amir has shown academic excellence and even made it to the dean's list last semester. Amir aspires to be a lawyer but has been struggling to pay for college through his own pocket, as parents are not able to support him. Due to these financial difficulties, he can't devote his complete concentration to studies and has a lot more on his plate than an average college student. We wanted to help students like Amir alleviate their financial stress. Having seen this issue firsthand drove us to find a solution for students like Amir. Grekia's mission is to mentor students and reduce their financial stress due to tuition by enabling personalized and transparent alumni giving. Let's take a look at the larger problem across the US. Since 1978, the cost of studying in the US has jumped by 4 times, double the increase of the US's GDP per capita while accounting for inflation, making university not as affordable as it used to be. This has led to almost 800,000 students dropping out of college every year due to financial stress itself. Furthermore, 56% of students are food and or housing insecure. Another 2 million college students are sleeping on the streets, in their cars, or in abandoned buildings due to homelessness. A total of $130 billion would be required to help these students on a yearly basis, excluding the scholarships and grants that they receive. There's a big gap on the alumni side as well. Out of the 118 million alumni in the US, only about 13 million alumni are giving back as of today. Having spoken to 500 alumni, we have realized that alumni would want to give directly to students that they don't currently receive constant updates regarding the utilization of their funds. We realized that conservatively, at least 10% of these alumni would give back if they knew which student they were helping. Of these 10 million target alumni, we believe that at least 90% of them would be willing to contribute around $500 on an annual basis, which would add up to $4.5 billion. We're particularly focusing on this category of donors since even small ticket contributions can create a huge impact to the students in need. We will also cater to the remaining top 10% of alumni eventually through our platform, amounting to a TAM of $59 billion from these 10 million alumni. This is where Grekia comes in. Grekia solves both the student and alumni problem by providing a platform where alumni can personally mentor or contribute towards the tuition of students in need. We already have an MVP up and running through which alumni can choose these students based on details in the student profile, such as need level, merit level, major, etc., and can contribute on a monthly, semesterly, or one-time basis. They can also contribute to a general fund in case they want Grekia to choose the receiving student and can also decide the criteria. They will also receive tax benefits regarding the same. Alumni will choose the recipient and get constant updates about the funds that will be directly sent to the student's university account to ensure transparency. The students on the platform will be 100% verified through interviews and institutional documents. Each student pledges to come back as an alumni on the platform to donate at least the amount they've received, continuing the chain of giving and multiplying the platform's benefit. Through our interactions with advancement officials across our 3 schools, we realized that Grekia could also work to solve problems relating to fundraising and alumni engagement at the university level. We brainstormed with advancement to devise solutions for the same and realized that alumni could give to universities endowed funds through Grekia. This would help increase the contribution numbers at university while also increasing alumni engagement. Additionally, Grekia could majorly help with collecting students and alumni data through these contributions. We're also working to build a robust system to help the university classify the endowed funds and scholarships by effectively tagging them across the university's endowment products. We currently collect a 3% transaction fee on each contribution and aim to build a one-stop solution for alumni, students, and university. Let's take a look at the current market alternatives. The most obvious alternative for an alumni would be the university's endowment fund. The endowment fund only uses 5% of the funds every year while investing the rest. Additionally, endowment funds in most cases do not offer personalized giving and only provide fiscal reports. Alumni cannot see the immediate impact of the money they donate. There are also other companies like Upstart and GoFundMe, which are very limited in their student base, high interest rate, and functionality. We're the only company that offers personalized student giving plus mentorship. We've received advice and signups on Grekia from over 500 alumni, including the co-founder of Tesla and chairman of other companies. We have funded 10% of the students on our platform, and we currently have a pilot program in progress with UIUC to develop a SaaS product for their advancement team. We have similar conversations with USC and UC Berkeley to the same end goal. We're currently in phase 1, where we aim to raise $3 million from 6,000 alumni at the 3 universities, helping 300 students with $10,000 each on average. We're currently raising a seed round of $200,000, of which we've already raised $15,000, which goes as additional $35,000. We'll be using the $50,000 for 3 main areas: product development, marketing expansion, and hiring new talent. Thank you so much for listening to my pitch, and please join us in our mission to help students across the US get through college and support them financially.
And welcome back, everyone. And thanks to John Thode and Dan Caruso. And special thanks to the 6 finalist teams for their presentation. And tonight we'd like to ask for all those that are participating online to help us out with an Audience Choice Award. We'll be awarding $2,500 to the top team that pitched tonight on a vote from the audience. So you can vote in one of 2 ways tonight. So grab your phones or log into the webpage. You can see here on this slide here above me the 2 ways that you can vote. So we'll be keeping the slide up on the bottom corner of the slide that shows you how you can do that. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone for making this happen tonight. Would like to thank the sponsors, the judge, the mentors, and the coaches that have all helped us throughout this entire competition. And thanks to the tech team that's helped to make this happen from behind the scenes. So with that, I'm excited to go on and announce the awards for this competition. And many of you have seen some of these awards announced throughout the day. So with that, we'll start with the in-kind prizes. So first of all, I'd like to announce the iVenture Accelerator Prize. And that starts with the gray Kia, the first prize. The iVenture Accelerator will offer space for its year-long educational startup accelerator program. The iVenture Accelerator enables student-led startups to create economic and social value by supporting student entrepreneurs with knowledge, funding, and access to world-class university resources and alumni. The iVenture Accelerator will start completely remote this summer. And as I mentioned, the winning team is Gray Kia. So congratulations to the team, and thank you, Manu, and your team at the iVenture Accelerator. So our second prize of the evening is the M-Hub prize, and that goes to CAMU. So M-Hub's members create breakthrough products in robotics, connected devices, sensors, energy tech, medical devices, smart buildings and cities, unmanned vehicles, and other cutting-edge innovations. By providing the right resources, mentorship, and access to manufacturing industry insiders, mHub helps early stage innovators go from prototype to product to sustainable businesses, driving a greater likelihood of success. mHub is offering 3 months of co-working membership at their Chicago location to help a team grow their business and prototype all in one place. This package includes access to their shop, a hot desk, conference rooms, mentors, classes, and much, much more. And as I mentioned, that winning team is Camu. So thank you, mHub, for your continued partnership over the years. So our next prize is the Sarah Venture Prize. And tonight that goes to Vuex. Sarah Ventures is an early stage venture capital firm investing in technology companies emerging in the Midwest technology centers. Sarah Ventures will provide up to 10 hours in free consulting services for review of initial business plan, business models, value proposition, and investor pitches. And again, that winning team tonight is Vuex. So congratulations to your team. And again, thanks to Tim, Dennis, and Rob for all your support over the years of our ecosystem and the competition. So our next prize of the evening is from TechNexus, the TechNexus Prize. And that goes to Vuex and Recommender. So TechNexus is a venture collaborative located in Chicago and provides a unique combination of business, corporate joint venturing, private equity funds under management, and a fast-growing startup investment portfolio. TechNexus Venture Collaborative is offering 2 teams, up to 5 members each on those teams, access to space, resources for 12 months in Chicago, which includes work and meeting space, and access to the community of entrepreneurs and mentors growing there. And as I mentioned, the winning teams tonight are Vuex and Recommender. So congratulations to your team, job well done, and thanks to Terry and Fred for their support. So next is a prize from the Magelli Office of Experiential Learning at our friends at the Geese College of Business. And so congratulations on our teams that win this prize tonight, Reverie, Vuex, and Karma Trade. So congratulations to those teams. These 3 teams are receiving a semester-long consulting project from the Magelli Office of Experiential Learning. A team of student consultants will work with these teams to complete an agreed-upon consulting project during the upcoming academic year. And again, these teams are Reverie, Vuex, and Karma Trade. So congratulations to these teams, and thanks to Andrew, Allen, Marissa, and Jacob for your help with these teams this year and for your continued support over the years. The next prize we have is Singleton Law Firm, and they'll be offering prizes to Vuex, Grakia, Reverie, Nasadia, Phantom Pedal, and EpiCap. So congratulations to these teams. From our friends at Singleton Law Firm, they'll be providing free legal services in the area of corporate formation, patent, trademark, and licensing. So again, congratulations to Vuex, Grakia, Reverie, Nasadia, Phantom Pedal, and EpiCap. And again, thanks to Alan and Liz for your help and continued support over the years. Next, from our friends at Meyer Capel, they'll be awarding prizes to Natreon, Recommender, and Equability. These 3 teams will be receiving legal services in the area of incorporation, bylaws, operating agreements, initial incorporation and organization documents, drafting employment agreements, and non-disclosure. Again, congratulations to Natreon, Equability, and Recommender for those prizes. And again, thanks to Joe, Randall, and Tracy for your support over the years as well. The next prize comes from our friends at Research Park, and this is the COVID-19 Technology Acceleration In-Kind Award for $5,000 in assistance. And this goes to Vigilance AI. Now this prize, the COVID-19 Technology Acceleration Program, is funded by the EDA CARES Act Recovery Assistance Award, which is administered by the University of Illinois EDA University Center, which is led by Enterprise Works at the Research Park. And this award provides statewide assistance to advanced technology and commercialization. And the types of technical assistance include prototyping, consulting, coaching, and proposal development, among other things. And so Vigilance AI, congratulations to this, and you'll receive more information from the Research Park and Enterprise Works. So congratulations on that award. And thanks to Research Park for your continued support. So the next award is our Research Park iStart Prize. And the winner of this award is Natreon and AgriWater. Congratulations. Natreon and AgriWater, you'll be awarded acceptance into the iStart program, which provides 80% funding for the cost of first-year legal services, accounting financial assistance, SBIR application consulting, business plan, market research preparation, basic website development, and logo design. And again, these winning teams are Natreon and AgriWater. So congratulations. And those are some of the most transformational programs we have on our campus. So congratulations, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of value in them. And again, thanks to Research Park. And again, another Research Park prize. So thanks again to Research Park. And we have exciting news from Research Park. Enterprise Works would like to extend tenancy in the student startup space at the Enterprise Works Incubator to all eligible semifinalist teams who would like to apply. Eligibility for the incubator space requires students to actively work from this space. Space is available for up to 6 months, and all semifinalist teams will receive an email with details. So again, congratulations to all those teams, and you'll be receiving an email from Enterprise Works soon. So again, thanks to our friends at Research Park. That is exciting news. Our next prize is the Founders Best Newcomer Prize, which comes from the Founders Illinois Entrepreneur Group, which is a registered student organization of entrepreneurial students at UIUC that supports student founders. And they have donated $500 to the Best Newcomer Prize, and that goes to Invidu. So congratulations, Invidu, and thank you to the Founder Illinois Entrepreneur RSO. Our next prize is the AARP Tech Nest Award. And this is a $1,250 cash prize, and this goes to Vigilance AI. This prize goes to the team that is inventing new ways to live and age. Congratulations, Vigilance AI, and thanks to AARP Tech Nest. Congratulations. So we're really excited about our next prize. This is a Best Prototyping Award, which is funding that comes from Orange QC. And this is $2,000, which we're awarding $2,000 prizes. And this goes to EpiCap and Phantom Pedal. And again, we're really excited about this award because this is funded by Orange QC, which is a company that was founded by Matt Gornick, who was a previous competitor in the Cozad New competition several years ago. And he's founded a successful company in Chicago and is giving back to the program. So congratulations to EpiCap and Phantom Pedal, and thank you to Matt and Orange QC. So happy to see those teams win these prizes, and look forward to supporting them as they build their prototype. So congratulations, and thank you to Orange QC and Matt. So Research Park is provided an AWARE award, prototyping award, which is AWARE is the Accelerating Women and Underrepresented Entrepreneurs Prize. And this is a prototyping award. And this goes to our winning team of Glide and Equability, which is funding that puts you in the AWARE program and helps you build your prototype. Congratulations, Glide and Equability, and thank you, Research Park and the AWARE program. Our next prize we're happy to award is the V. Dell Cozad Best Pitch Award. And this award goes to Natreon. And this prize is a special prize. It's sponsored by Cozad Asset Management and goes to the team with the best pitch, recognizing V. Dell Cozad's commitment and belief in the importance of effective presentation and communication skills in all business endeavors. And so we'd like to thank Cozad Asset Management for sponsoring this and recognizing the importance of this award. And also congratulations to Natreon in winning this. And finally, before we get to our grand prize winners, our last award before moving on is the Dr. Paul Magelli Innovation Prize. And this prize is named after Dr. Paul Magelli, which is a friend to all of us and one of our champions of the Illinois innovation entrepreneurship ecosystem. And this is a $10,000 prize sponsored by Illinois Ventures, and that goes to Natreon. So Illinois Ventures is pleased to award the Dr. Paul Magelli Innovation Prize to a Cozad finalist. And this prize will be in the form of a direct or convertible equity instrument. And it goes to a team that has demonstrated its potential to grow and create significant value as an entrepreneurial venture. So thank you, Illinois Ventures, and congratulations to Natreon. All right, so again, would just like to thank all of the teams that have participated in the competition thus far. And before I say that, I'd like to say one thing. I'd like to say a few things, actually. It's time to announce our final prizes, our final grand prizes. And I'd like to mention a few points. While there are only 6 teams in the final round, we had 45 teams that made it to the semifinal round this year. And it was a very solid set of teams. And there were many other teams that could have made it to the final round and done extremely well. In fact, last night when we judged the teams, one of the judges that had participated over many years in the competition said something. She actually mentioned that it was the strongest set of teams that she has ever seen in the competition. And so each of the finalists, each of the final 6 teams in the competition will be receiving an award as determined by the judges. So I want to congratulate all of the finalists as well as all of the semifinalists that participated in the competition this year. So congratulations. You should all feel proud of yourselves and feel like you've done a fantastic job. So with that, let's get on to the grand finalists, or the grand final prizes. So I screwed up and I hit the button, so you've probably already seen it. This year, there is a tie for 4th place. And each of the 4th place winners are receiving $2,500. So congratulations. And the 4th place teams are Gracia and Equability. So congratulations to Gracia and Equability. And again, you'll each be receiving $2,500 to launch your ventures. And congratulations. And 3rd place, there was also a tie. There was a tie for 3rd place, and the winners will each receive $5,000 each, and for to launch your ventures. So congratulations on that. Job well done to each of the 3rd place winning teams, and receiving $5,000. And the 3rd place winning teams are Recommender and Vuix. So congratulations to Recommender and Vuix. Job well done. And next, as we go on, we have now closed the voting for the Audience Choice Award. So as I mentioned, the Audience Choice winner is going to receive $2,500, which will be added to their prize. And the winning team that receives the Audience Choice Award, and I want to thank all of those that participated and voted. The Audience Choice winner this year is Gracia. Congratulations to Gracia. Job well done. And again, you will receive $2,500 in your prize funding. So congratulations to Gracia. And Jen, again, just want to thank all those that have participated with us this evening and taken time to vote with us. So now, down to the final 2 awards. And just repeat again that the 2nd place team now is what we'll do is the 2nd place team is going to win $15,000, and we will hear from the second place, the second place team. They'll come on, they'll share through a few thoughts with us. And so the second place winner tonight is Reverie. So congratulations, Reverie. You have won $15,000 this year, and we'd like to hear from them. So we'd like to bring on Keaton Lee from the Reverie team and have him share a few thoughts from in the competition.
So can you guys hear me, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm very honored that Reverie has been chosen as the winner of Cozad. And I want to say special thanks to my team, to advisor and mentors, and University of Illinois for providing us the ground for innovation. I really hope to see more innovation happening and be awarded in the Cozad competition in the future. Thanks a lot for choosing us as the winner of Cozad. Very appreciated and honored.
Excellent. Congratulations, Keaton. We look forward to following your progress. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, and the grand prize winner of the $25,000 safe note is Natreon. Congratulations, Alex and your team, for winning this year's competition. And would you like to share a few words with those that are viewing?
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, the award, and really it was a team effort. So all our guys in Natreon, all our mentors along the way, definitely it was, an amazing opportunity. We learned so much. So thanks so much.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Alex. And, you've done a good job leveraging the ecosystem and participating. Congratulations to you and your team. And again, we look forward to following your progress in the future. Congratulations. All right. So that's it. That's it for this year. I just want to congratulate, again, all of the teams that have participated in the competition this year, those that started the competition, those that made the semifinals, those that made the finals, and just congratulate all of them. I'd like to thank all of the student innovators on campus. I'd like to thank the judges, mentors, coaches, and sponsors that participated this year. Thank those that supported the program. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to make this competition happen. So thank you. And also like to thank the team that helped put everything together behind the scenes. So it takes a lot to put this on, and just want to thank you. So thanks, everyone, and see you back here next year. So thank you.